During Donald Trump's interview with the Wall Street Journal, he talked a little bit about how awesome he is, or at least how awesome he thinks he is, and how incredibly successful he's been throughout his life. Now, there was no question asked by the reporters in regard to his success. In fact, the question that prompted Trump's ego-boosting rant was as follows: Mr. President, you made reference to the book Steve Bannon, and then Trump interrupts and says, so I was successful. I was always the best athlete. People don't know that, but I was successful at everything I ever did. And then I run for president. First time,
no,
not 3 times, not 6 times. I ran for president first time, and lo and behold, I win. And then people say, oh, is he a smart person? I'm smarter than all of them put together, but they can't admit it. They had a bad year.
See, but this is exactly what I'm saying. This kind of narcissism, it feeds off of attention. It doesn't matter if it's negative attention. It doesn't matter if it's positive attention. As long as his name remains relevant, as long as we're consistently talking about him, I know I'm doing that. I'm having a self-reflexive moment. Then I know there's a little a resistance to confront this, because we do have to hold him accountable to his craziness, that's for sure. But you saw what happened when there was a rallying cry to put him at odds with Bannon. And that was a simple strategy. They used the phrase President Bannon, and that got to him, that got under his skin.
That's a great point, actually.
And like, what would happen if, this is my question, after like sifting through 18 pages of like rambles and then seeing his tweets constantly pop up, what would happen if the media decided to ignore him for a week? If there was some sort of pledge, that would be.
I have a, I don't want to say better strategy, but an alternative strategy.
I want to hear it.
We can try both.
I could also judge which one.
In an ideal, I win all of the strategy ideas, okay? Everyone thinks that I'm the best athlete and I have the best strategy ideas. Lo and behold, I'm gonna win the strategy idea. Okay, no, but I think it would be much more interesting if the media ignored all of his provocative tweets and his provocative statements and only hyper-focused on policy-related issues, and that's it.
Exactly, and not tying it to his name, maybe tying it to an administration. Just leave his name out. What would that look like?
Maybe,
what would that do?
So let's just say, instead of that, we'll just say President McConnell.
Yeah.
And just go through it until he's gotten rid of everybody. Like every day, it's another person who's better than him.
But that's what the takeaway I loved from Fire and Fury. Nobody knows who's running the show. And so we could just assign that role to each character until everybody is knocked off.
Another crazy thing about this interview is, we've seen the tweets and they're each by themselves. This is the first time I've really seen all the nonsense in one place for such an extended
That's true.
period
This is
of time.
his compendium
so
of nonsense.
you could think that, well, he goes away, he looks at his day, he's like, what one thing can I say to drive the news cycle now? That was my theory, is he sits there and he looks, he's like, all right, here's today what I choose. But no, I think it's just a default setting where any and all things that jump into his mind, he will run through his personal filter of, well, I'm the best, right? Thus, ... and he just chucks it out at everything.
I think that he doesn't really have a filter. I mean, he likes to put that, that rosy, I'm better than everyone, perspective on himself, that's for sure. But I think more than anything, he just speaks as he's thinking. Whatever's coming to his mind, he just says it. Whereas I think most people give themselves a beat to really think about what's about to come out of their mouths.
But I think there's a lot of politicians who you'll see, they're the ones who don't answer the question the same way every time. When it's asked, did you order the code red? They'll be like, it was important that we made a decision at that moment. And you're just like, wait, what are you talking about? And that's their filter, is like, I bring it in, I put it through this way. Trump, he does have a filter, or at least he's just like a function. It comes in this way, he changes it, and it goes out through his filter, which is, I am the best. I'm a total narcissist, and what comes into my mind, but it's always through that filter.
I'm incredibly insecure, and what do I have to do to reverse these feelings within me?
Yeah,
it's scary
so weird
stuff.
What you just watched was one of the videos that we do today, but we actually do a whole 2-hour show every single day. It's a podcast. You could watch it in video or listen to it as audio. You can download it, you can stream it, and you get it completely ad-free if you could become a member of the Young Turks. TYTnetwork.com/join.